Whamen. Beauty standards are a sign of sexist society. Hashtag patriarchy. Same woman. We wear makeup for us. So this is a thought I had when I was just thinking about this dichotomy or hypocrisy. I think it's dichotomy that I see when people talk about certain people, certain women, and women is not all women. Women is a certain group of women with a wah. Women that tend to wah about things, cry about things, whinge about certain things. Women. So that specific group will often talk about how wearing makeup, being in shape, wearing these clothes, doing all these things it's wrong. It's restrictive. It's the patriarchy. It's men saying you have to dress this way. This is for men. This is for the male gaze. This is not because women want to do it. It adds time when women's commutes and all these things. And that's something that is said by these people, by some of these women. Then those same women will go on the same flip side and say, no, we are makeup for us. This is for us. This is not for men. We are independent. We want to dress this way. We want to look this way. This is a women empowerment. This is female empowerment. So there is some dichotomy there. And there are some stressors with this. I mean, okay, this is a meme I'm going to put on the screen right now. Top one, it's like women have to deal with cramps and bloating. What do men have to deal with? And it's like women, and that is true. That is something. If you have to deal with women, if you are somebody who wants to get into relationships, you're a hetero, or how is this for like women in lesbian relationships as well? I know there's something where I think there's some figures saying lesbian relationships have the highest amount of domestic violence and things like this, and that's like reported. Again, when you go to the reports and you go to statistics, I'm going to get into something with statistics about the makeup industry in a second, but something when you go with statistics, in certain statistics, when you're just covering some certain figures, mathematical things, it's kind of straightforward to actually see, okay, this is a thing we can compare apples to apples. But when you talk about something like reported domestic violence, this is one thing I've been thinking with it. They say in gay couples it's the lowest, men with dating men, then men and women is the second, and then women and women is the highest. Now that's reported. Could this just be due to the fact that when it's two women, that's two people that are more likely to report domestic violence? Yet you have, when you have men and women in relationships, men in general in those heterosexual relationships are less likely to actually report any domestic violence. So the chances are in those ones, if you have somebody who 50% of the time will report it, then 25% of the time they won't report it. They will report it. That's the man. Then you have two of those people. Then 70% of the time there's actually some domestic violence thing worth reporting. You would actually get to report 75% of that. This is just some numbers I'm throwing out there. This is probably not going to be actual figures. But anyway, you go in a situation where it's two women, then there's a chance 100% of the time they will actually be a report because one of them will report. Now you get to a situation where it's two men, then it's 25%, 25%. So only 50% of the time when something's actually domestic violence reporting worthy, you'll actually get a report from one of those people. I think that's actually what actually changes it. And it's not necessarily so much on the whole like actual interactions between men and women. But anyway, so coming back to this thing, when you talk about the situation we're doing for us, the women are doing for themselves, I think there is something to that. Because in general, maybe this is just me, I have some artistic intentions and things like that. I like design and outfits and things like that and drawing just for characters and just seeing people wearing things. But I still don't recognize brands and I wouldn't be able to tell, oh, that's a knockoff Gucci handbag and this is one that is actually valid. I won't really be able to tell so much in the makeup. I think with the makeup, I'm pretty good at picking up makeup. And there's this one thing of just I'll put this thing on the screen. And just this person did this really thick makeup on her skin and the eyebrows are just, it's weird some of the things people do, and it must feel suffocating to be under these things. And I've talked about how with people who wear hijabs and they say that's covering the face, you don't really see the actual person, and that's like something that's restrictive to women. But then women also just put on makeup. Just it's more like a form-fitting mask, and they put on eyelashes. And black women would wear their hair weaves, hair-hatted hooligans, and things like that. They're wearing hair from other races and things like that. Some of these things don't match. It's just, why are you doing all these things? It feels like it would be a suffocating thing. I wish they would do it less. But I think the people who do recognize, oh, those are those heels, that's that handbag, that's that type of makeup, it would be other women. So I think there is an aspect of that. And in general, I think if you just have certain values, if you just in general have a certain attractiveness, most men who are most men won't actually kick you out of bed or say, I'm not going to date this person, I'm not going to associate with this person because they didn't have a flash handbag, because they didn't have this certain high level makeup skills. I think it's more like if your makeup skills are garbage, if you're doing some really crazy stuff, some men might pull back. But then some of these women I've seen wearing some real odd stuff, and they're still booking people. It's an odd thing. So let me just read you this thing with the statistics based on the actual makeup thing. This is from Statista.com, Cosmetics Industry Statistics and Facts. In 2018, the global cosmetic market grew an estimated of 5.5% in comparison to the previous year. Skincare, hair care, makeup, perfumes, toiletries, and deodorants, and oral cosmetics are the main product categories of the cosmetic market. Now, some of this will be for men, of course, some of those things in there. But anyway, skincare was a leading category, accounting for about 39% of the global market. Hair care products made up a further 21%, while makeup accounted for 19% in 2018. Skincare has been forecasted to remain the most profitable product category as its market value is projected to grow by 20.1 billion US dollars between 2014 and 2016. As of 2018, Asia Pacific was a world leader, accounting for approximately 40% of the global market. Now, this is something where it's a billion-dollar industry all over the world, and it's growing. In Africa, there's an underlying movement. It's rather small, but it's growing, of people bleaching their skins. In the United States of America and other countries, there is a thing of people getting tans. This is just damaging. You're either scraping your skin off with just acids and things like that. Even men are getting this. Like in Jamaica, this guy Vibes Cartel does the skin bleaching thing. I saw this one documentary. It's weird. And then the opposite side, you just in UV rays, people lying in sunbeds and things like that, just charring their skin, getting skin cancer for all these things. So there is there is some aspect there where it's like, what is going on with these things? Recently, with this recent civil rights or uproar with the black community in the United States of America, they've said they're going to start. I think there were some stores that are not going to actually have certain ethnic beauty products in secure places because there was a high level of theft of some of these products. I've seen like people go and go rob weave stores because these weaves get really expensive. There was something specific saying, I think Olay, Oil of Olay, one of these companies, Nivea, or one of these big companies said they're going to stop producing their skin whitening cream, even though there's people talking about this. Actually, people who use this for actual reasons, people who have like vitiligo, who have things like patchy skin, and there's other reasons to actually use these, like for more like medicinal, not just beauty reasons. But I guess you can probably still have those products and just go to like some kind of dermatologist and get prescribed it instead of just being over the counter. But anyway, so just let me know what you think about this whole thing with the dichotomy between people saying it's the patriarchy making women dress and wear makeup and do these certain things, and then some of those same women saying, "Oh no, it's just for us." What do you think it's more about? When you had this kind of shutdown, I was talking about with the masks. Was there something where like eye makeup all of a sudden was this? If you had your eye makeup game like was really good. Now those are the people who are benefiting because you're walking around with a mask covering like half your face. So does it take like half the time to apply the stuff? Were women still wearing makeup under if you're going to be walking around in a mask? And I mean, like, because I know some people who wear those full coverings and Muslim things, like it's just like Sex in the City, but I think it actually happens in real life as well. They still put on makeup because when they go home, they're going to take off the covering. So they still want to look a certain way at home, or do they just not care? So what was the thing? Did your if you're a woman over these last masking times, stay at home, did your makeup and beauty regimen change at all? Or were you still doing it because maybe you're doing Zoom chats or Skype chats or video chats and video conferencing, so you still had to maintain a certain appearance? If you have a vacation where you know you're not going to be actually at work or seeing people, do you still wake up and put on makeup just for yourself if you're sitting at home? What's the whole thing with this whole thing? Or is it more like you going out once you get a man or a woman, or you do, what's the main goals for you wearing makeup and all these things? So let me know about that in the comment section. I appreciate you taking your time to come listen. Like, share, subscribe. Links to merchandise store as well. I think I might put the feminist merchandise up. I'm not quite sure, but I think it'll be the feminist things with a praying mantis. And this was a design that came up with one of my friends. I was talking to her about what a praying mantis is, and she just said that sounds like an excellent mascot for feminism. And yeah, I think it is. So I did this femimantis. Femimantis? Femimantis. I think it's femimantis. The femimantis design, you can get different merchandise, like shirts, you can get stickers, you can get coasters, you can get pillows. So go ahead, check that out. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, appreciate your time. Goodbye.